Good afternoon, everybody. Colin here with Techout. Today we're going to be unboxing another Ubiquiti access point. This is going to be the final one that I unbox and set up for my current network setup. So I have the Ubiquiti ACLR, which is the long range model of the access point, and then I have a UDM, which is the Dream Machine beacon. I don't actually have the actual Dream Machine itself. Might pick one up in the future, don't know yet. They're actually sold out right now. But I would have to get rid of some of the other stuff that I just bought to make use of that, such as my Edge router, because the UDM does have a router built into it. So right now I'm not going to be purchasing one, but like I said, in the future, you know, plans might change, setups might change. I might get one just to play around with. But I do have the Dream Machine beacon right here, which does work with their other access points as a extender kind of mesh system. So I have one of those downstairs. This one is the wired one that I'm going to be using for my office. Let me get rid of that because it's probably got my address on it. It does. So this is the AC or the APAC Lite, which is their cheapest access point that you can get. I want to say it was around $89. So the 2.4 gigahertz band is a rate up to 300 megabits per second, which is a little bit slower than the long range and the Pro, but their 5 gigahertz band, which supports DFS and radio rates up to 867 megabytes per second, is the same as the long range. So I'm just using this in my office, like I said, and a lot of the devices are going to be on 5 gigahertz. So I figured since they're going to be so close by and they're going to be on 5 gigahertz, there's no need for a long range or a Pro in here. I didn't want to get another long range because I don't have that big of an area for it, and it was going to start overlapping with my other access points, which would just cause interference and devices wouldn't switch as easily as they should. So no need for that. So I picked this one up. Let's see. So it is a little bit smaller than the long range that I have, but it is the same type of design. Then we have your little wall plate right here on the back, which I will not be using because it's just going to be sitting on my desk. You can turn it like that to lock it on, or you can flip it over one more, which locks it down, and you have to have like a little clip to unlock it there. But if you leave it right there, you can just do it freely without that. So that is the access point right there. This piece right here is if you're mounting it on like a drop ceiling on a ceiling tile, you put this over it so it's a little bit stronger. It spreads out the surface area that it's mounting to on a ceiling tile. So that's what that's for. Have your quick start guide right there. We have your power cord right here, and we have your PoE injector here. Very nice of them to include all that kind of stuff. If you buy a 5-pack of these, or a 3-pack I think, I don't remember which one they come in. If you buy a multi-pack, they don't come with PoE injectors though, so just keep that in mind. But here is the PoE injector and the cable. So all you do is, if you don't have a PoE switch, this does run on PoE, so there's no separate power cable for it. You just plug your PoE in here, that goes to your access point, and your LAN here, which comes from your router or your switch, whatever you're plugging it up to. If you have a PoE switch, then you don't need this at all. You just plug the access point straight into your PoE switch, and it gets power that way. And here are some wall anchors and some mounting screws for the mounting if you choose to mount it on a wall or ceiling. That is what comes in the box here with the access point. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab some Ethernet cables to plug this in, and we're actually going to be plugging it up right here on my desk for the time being, because I'm going to be setting this one up in a video. So I'm going to plug it in, and then we're going to switch over to my computer, and I'm going to show you the adoption process on the UniFi controller. Alright, so I've got the PoE injector plugged into power, and I have this cable plugged into my switch. One thing, I do not recommend using flat cables for PoE. So if you're going to use a flat cable, or if you have a flat cable coming from somewhere, make sure you have that on the LAN side. These for some reason don't work well for power over Ethernet at all. Some people, I have a person on the Ubiquiti forums that had a 75-foot one of these, and their access point kept cutting off, and it was because the power could not travel through that cable properly. So if you have to use one of those, make sure it is on the LAN side. And then I just have a regular Ethernet cable here on the PoE side, so we're going to plug that into the PoE side of the injector, and then we're just going to plug it in on the access point right here. So all you have to do, just go into Ethernet right there, and you'll see here in a second that light should light up. It's going to be white. Let me turn this off so you can see. So there is the light. It's not very bright right now, but it is a white light, which means the access point is booting up and is ready for adoption. So we're going to head over to the UniFi controller, and I'm going to show you that process. Our UniFi controller here. If you already have a UniFi controller set up, you'll just log into that. If not, that is going to be another video. I don't have any videos on that currently, so this is kind of just a setup of this access point, not really how to set up a UniFi network or anything like that. But we're in our UniFi controller right here. We're going to head over to the Devices tab, and right here you see all my other devices. This is the Dream Machine beacon right here, which is my downstairs access point. We have my switch, and then we have my upstairs access point. All these have already been set up previously and are all already in use. But you can see right here we have our UniFi AP-AC Lite right here, which is pending adoption, and an update is required. So when we click on that, it is going to have you upgrade it. And when you do that, it'll also adopt it. So we're just going to click confirm. It's on 3.9.54.9373 right now, and it's going to update to 4.0.80.10875 after it's adopted. This may take a few minutes, so it's going to do that. It's going to adopt the access point first, and then it's going to go ahead and update it. So that is the process of adopting the access point, and basically what adopting the access point does is it just adds all your settings, your SSID and everything like that, and it's going to adopt it to that UniFi controller, so this access point is controlled by that controller. Once it is adopted and everything, you'll get options here. We'll just go to this one for example, since it's already adopted and updated. But you can set the SSID and settings and everything like that, and your WLANs or your WLANs and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. You can customize the settings and override stuff if you want it to be a separate SSID. But updating it and adopting it is just going to use your standard settings for the site you are adopting it to. So this has been Colin with Techout. This is my new UniFi network, and I will be doing some videos of the network itself, showing you the different devices, where they are and what they're doing in another video. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. And as always, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great